We have a passenger who initially appeared nervous around the carousel. Straight away, we could see that it wasn't normal behaviour.
And now officers want to know the reason for his unusual behaviour.
So why did you return to Vietnam?
For holiday.
For holiday?
My friend have wedding.
Your friend had a wedding?
Yeah.
Alarm bells ring for Officer Natalie as the man now tells her that someone else has put items in his bag.
This? Is it yours?
Yeah, that's mine.
What's not yours? The food?
Yeah, it was
Who put this in there?
my friend.
Your friend. Do you know what's in you and the rest?
No,
Did your friend pack this and then you put your clothes on top?
no, my friend.
Your friend put your clothes in the
Yeah.
suitcase as well?
Yeah.
Why?
Before I go to Sydney, I drink a lot of and I'm
You
drunk. Drink a
drink
lot.
a lot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you were too drunk
yeah.
to pack your suitcase, so your friend packed it for you?
Yeah.
The man is responsible for the contents of his luggage regardless of who packed it. And experienced officers suspect he's got something to hide.
What is this?
It's cake.
Cake?
Yeah.
Who are you giving the cake to? For you or for somebody else?
Just for somebody else.
Who is that somebody else?
My friend. His relative. When I come here, his relative call me.
So his relative's going to call you to pick up the cakes.
Yeah.
So he has your number, but you don't have his?
Yeah.
The rest is all food for your friend's relative.
Yeah. Okay.
The passenger's story doesn't add up, and officers now believe he's not telling them the truth.
This gentleman is petrified of being caught with something in his bag that he's not allowed to carry.
With serious concerns that there is something hidden inside the cakes, Border Force call in a drug detector dog. If he smells drugs, the dog will sit.
Good boy. Good boy.
This Irish backpacker has just returned to Sydney after a one-week trip to New Zealand, stating that the purpose of his short trip away was to renew the Australian tourist visa he has held for the last 3 months.
So what are your intentions for this particular trip to Australia?
Just to go from Sydney up the east coast.
Are you travelling with somebody else today?
Yeah.
How do you know that person?
Just dating.
Yeah? How long have you been in a relationship with this person?
2 years.
What sort of money do you have at your disposal for expenditure in Australia?
Around 7,000.
Okay, yeah.
Border Force is concerned that the large sum of money may have come from working without an appropriate visa. A bag search has uncovered a business card confirming the man's involvement with a TV dating show. Officers must now find out if this was work or play.
How did you find this work?
2 girls ran up to me on the street. That's me, look.
What exactly did you have to do?
That's kind of like a dating show, I guess. So yeah, you go on and you meet people and talk.
Going on a number of dates is not a concern for Border Force, as it's not a breach of his visa condition. It may, however, be a concern for someone else.
My girlfriend's gonna kill me.
All right, well, I won't pry into your personal life, okay?
What is concerning for Officer Tim are the text messages found hidden in the man's phone. A conversation with another woman confirms that he has been working.
Well, I don't know what my work is like this week, but definitely meet for an hour. That infers to me that you are actually working.
Yeah, I can understand why it sounds like that, but it's just an excuse that I can't meet up all the time, I guess.
The man won't admit to working and instead claims the messages are lies which he sent to get him out of meeting a woman. But the lies keep coming, as text messages to his girlfriend also refer to work.
You've said, I'm just finished work, and you've got, well, I'm working tomorrow, so that's good, okay? What can you tell me about these 2 text messages from this particular contact today? You are on a tourist visa during this time.
This Australian resident returning to Sydney claims that the only things she has to declare are some cigarettes in her backpack. But x-rays of her luggage leave biosecurity officers concerned that she's attempting to bring some undeclared food items into the country.
There's a lot of organic material in there. And this one here, it's very faint, but we still need to look at it. It looks like it's in a pot. We need to have a look, definitely look in the box as well.
Okay, where's your passport?
And as the woman reaches into her bag, something falls out, and officers' suspicions are immediately justified.
Yeah, I know, I can see.
As an array of hidden and undeclared nuts tumble from her purse.
This is your signature? Yeah? Did you fill out the cards? This is Chinese, not English. Look, Chinese, no English. Just one moment. I've got an interesting one here. She can't speak English. Obviously, this is not English. She won't answer the 7 baggage questions.
Where'd she go?
Now appears the passenger has done a run-up, and officers have an urgent situation.
All right, she looks like she's seeking assistance.
The woman has found another Chinese-speaking traveller to translate for her, and Officer Andrea clarifies what food items the woman has to declare.
What food is she bringing to the country?
Dry fish and other seafood.
Food, okay,
For example,
anything
scallop,
else?
yeah. 还有什么？
Despite only listing cigarettes on her declaration card, she now admits to carrying dried fish, dried seafood, mushrooms and Chinese medicine, but claims the items were packed by her son.
All right, thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay.
The lady up front of the X-ray was clearly declaring 1 bag only. However, it's become apparent that there is definitely food in the other bags. So let's have a look.
Officers immediately find a high-risk fresh vegetable hidden in her backpack.
This one, no goods, okay?
As well as the cigarettes she has declared. But when Officer Jeanette turns her attention to one of the woman's 2 cardboard boxes,
We have some leakage. There's quite a bit of juice coming out of that box.
she's shocked to find something that could pose a major risk to Australia's biosecurity.
Okay, so what do we have here? But I thought you said your son packed the bag and you didn't know what you had.
You saw the dog sit when he came near your bag? It means it's a positive reaction to what's in your bag, to narcotics, to drugs. Do you understand?
What do you mean the dog sits?
When the dog sits,
Yeah.
it's a positive reaction. It means that he smelt drugs in your bag.
Menstrual.
Pardon?
Menstrual. Yeah. Menstrual.
Drugs.
What's menstrual?
Drugs, narcotics. You don't know what drugs are?
His story doesn't convince officers as he denies any knowledge of drugs and continues to claim that someone else packed his personal bag.
Illegal. Do you know what's inside the bag?
No, I don't.
You don't know.
Officers now continue the search and try to locate whatever it is that he's trying to hide.
Who are these for?
My friend.
Your friend? Another friend?
Yeah.
The rest is all food?
Yeah, all food.
Okay.
Except
So what is this?
tea.
Tea?
Yeah.
Vietnamese tea and an unusual amount of Vietnamese mooncakes are packed in the suitcase. Mooncakes are a traditional pastry eaten during the harvest celebration. Normally, the filling appears dark in colour, but what's now found inside these cakes is white and appears suspicious to officers.
There's something in it. I think they're loaded.
You've said, I'm just finished work. I'm just going to ask, have you been engaging in any work during that time?
I may have engaged in a bit of work, a bit of extra work, but
You're starting to hint at something else, another arrangement, and
yeah, okay, yeah.
tell me what type of work it is that you've engaged in.
I just done We just work labouring.
Yeah. What was the arrangement? Where did you work?
So, okay, what happened was, I guess I might as well just tell you. We probably spent a little bit more than we were meant to. So I just said, oh look, I might as well just do a week if it's like 8 days or something, I think, altogether. But
What did you get in exchange for this work?
money.
Work on your visa constitutes a breach of condition.
No, Mayor. The story definitely does not add up. She did say her son packed her bags. However, when we opened that box, she was able to identify that vegetable before we even opened it, which indicates to me she had a very strong awareness of what was in that box. What appears to be leaking is a non-commercially prepared vegetable.
This leaking vegetable is a prohibited import, which could contain unidentified pests and diseases with the potential to cause enormous damage to Australian agricultural industries.
Okay, let's have a look what else. More. Have a look at this, Andrea. That does look like some type of disease, doesn't it? So this is not something that she'll be taking with her today.
Further investigation reveals a steady stream of undeclared and prohibited food items.
Wow. Okay, so we got more of the same. Just.
And now, in the same pot as the leaking vegetables, officers find something of even greater concern.
Inside this pot that was actually leaking with the vegetables, we've got concealed cigarettes. I believe that was made to look like food and packaged in this way to conceal.
The woman declared 5 packets, but officers now find a large quantity of concealed cigarettes, which she has disguised as food. And they suspect there's more to be found.
There you go.
Yeah, well, we knew. We knew there was more.
With the realisation that she's been caught out, the woman's health seems to take a sudden turn for the worse.
Oh, I think she's going to be sick. I don't understand you, ma'am.
Right, watch that
She
one.
keeps belching. Are you sick? You want to sit down? She's going to be sick. I'm just a bit worried about her because she doesn't seem to be doing too well. She keeps belching and yeah, her eyes look watery. So I think the whole of today has maybe made her a bit upset, or just her sort of knowing that she's done something that she shouldn't have done. Maybe is her conscience playing up on her. I can't really answer that.
And she won't be feeling better anytime soon if she finds herself with a hefty fine or possible prosecution.
She's a perfect example of why we have infringement notices issued. She could possibly get a criminal record.
Now, is there any evidence that we may find that will suggest that you've returned to engage in further work?
This one is 100% tourism. Let me just spend all these money as I country and let me go.
The passenger is given a chance to explain his intentions, but he thinks the best way to plead his case is by being cocky.
Let me in, please. Yes. I can give you a call when I leave.
His confident attitude might usually get him out of trouble, but he's in for a rude shock when he hears Officer Tim's final decision.
After weighing up all the information available to me, I was satisfied that the grounds for cancelling your visa outweigh the reasons for not cancelling. Therefore, your visa has been cancelled and you will be refused immigration clearance. You will be detained and removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Look, yeah, I know he's made his decision and all that, but I just think it's the wrong one.
There's something in it. I think they're loaded.
The man is now detained while the concealment is identified.
I believe the cakes that you're carrying have narcotics in them. We're going to do some further testing to make sure. But because I believe that, I'm going to caution you. You don't have to say or do anything. But anything you do or say may be used as evidence. Do you understand that?
Don't do and don't say here.
Yeah, you don't have to. Okay?
A drug swab is now run over the mooncakes. This test will indicate if officers' suspicions are justified.
What she'd actually declared was about 5 single packets of cigarettes. However, what we've discovered is excess cigarettes concealed to look like food items.
She is given the option via a translator to keep the cigarettes, but she will need to pay the duty owing or they will be seized and destroyed.
So she decide now. Cigarettes gone, but she...
The woman may still be fined for all the undeclared food, but it's not without protest.
She's saying that she had no money, she can't pay.
Well, we can issue a remittance notice, which means she gets 21 days to pay.
However, in order to send the woman a remittance notice, officers need to confirm her address. And when they check her ID, they run into a problem.
Who is this person? Is that her husband?
Friend.
How come she has the friend's ID with her?
Driver's licence.
The woman is found to be carrying several different ID cards with conflicting names and addresses.
So where does she actually live? What we've discovered is she has multiple identities and multiple pieces of information about where she resides.
Because of this new complication, biosecurity officers now hand the woman over to the Australian Border Force, who will investigate further.
I have every reason to suspect this gentleman is carrying drugs in these food items. It's not cake, it's drugs.
Officers will now step up their investigation.
We're going to go into an interview room. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, okay? I'll get you to grab your things now.
The man is taken to a private interview room, and officers conduct secondary tests to confirm the swab results.
Okay, so we've got a green result, which means it's a positive to pseudoephedrine.
The concealed drugs will now be packaged up for evidence, and the passenger is arrested by the Australian Border Force investigations team. Today, in Sydney, this passenger has come to the attention of officers as they have noticed him lurking behind the primary line. The man is acting very strangely and appears to be trying to avoid showing himself for identification.
Our officers noticed he was acting a little bit nervous when he arrived into the entry control point. He didn't proceed straight up to a customs officer with his passport. He sort of hung around the back of the hall. He appeared to be stalling.
After finally presenting himself to officers, it is established that he is a Malaysian citizen and has flown in from Dubai on a tourist visa. He claims to be here on a short 5-day holiday. However, officers suspect that he's not telling them the truth and decide to take him aside for further questioning.
We questioned him a little bit further about what his plans were, what he wanted to see, what he wanted to do. He could not really tell us much about Sydney, apart from he just wanted to walk around and have a look. So again, that's raised the officers' concerns about him being a genuine traveller to Australia.
During the interview, officers perform a baggage inspection, and this causes further concern about his reason for travel.
Basically, he's come with no clothing. He's got 4.5 kilos of chocolate and alcohol. It is quite unusual for a holidaymaker to bring such a large amount of chocolates, considering he doesn't know anybody in Australia, he's got no contacts here, so he's not bringing any gifts for any friends or family that he knows here.
What's more worrying is the foul odour wafting from the man's direction.
From the moment we spoke to him, we could smell that something wasn't right. It looks like he was a little bit frightened.
We've noted that there is a particular smell which is consistent with fecal matter.
Border Force officers are interviewing this French traveller who has just landed. They are concerned she may have plans to work, which would be a breach of the conditions of her tourist visa.
Okay, how long are you planning to stay in Australia?
I don't know really the time.
So you're not aware of how long you wish to stay in Australia?
Depend of my budget.
So tell me a little bit about what you're here for. Do you have any intended activities whilst you're in Australia?
I really want to improve my English, so just spend time with English people or travelers and speak English again and again.
Have you been in any contact with anybody in Australia?
When?
Prior to coming to Australia, have you been in touch with anybody?
No.
Okay, so nobody knows that you are coming to Australia?
No.
Do you know anybody in Australia?
No.
The woman is acting coy about having contacts in Australia. So officers check her phone for information, and suspicions are immediately raised by what they find.
What my main concern is that she's denying that she's got anybody that's here to meet her, nor is she planning to see anybody while she's in the country. Right. Now, that contrasts with some of the text messages that we've found on her mobile phone, which I'm still yet to put to her. But to me, it appears that she's been quite hesitant to disclose what her true intentions are for what she's here to do while she's in the country.
Biosecurity officers suspect that this couple, travelling with their 2 young children, have items in one of their bags that should have been declared.
Yep. There's nothing to declare on their card. However, they have a whole bag of organic material, so we'll have a look in there.
Officer Brian now gives them a final opportunity to declare any food.
Yeah. Did you both understand the questions?
Oh, yeah.
The couple insist that they have completed their card correctly and make no declaration.
All right, I'm going to have a look in the bag.
It doesn't take long to find the undeclared food, but what's living inside the fruit now raises the concern for biosecurity officers.
Okay, what we've got is we've got some peaches, nectarines. This one here, there's a hole in the side and something's been eating it. This is a serious issue because there could be a caterpillar or an insect in there eating it, and we just don't know from looking at it.
Obviously, the couple are unaware that infested fruit carries pests and diseases which are a dangerous threat to Australia's agricultural industry.
Sorry, I don't know.
Do you have anything else?
No.
Did anybody else put anything in this bag?
Sorry, I don't know.
You don't know?
But Officer Brian now finds something which will prove that they did know all along.
Okay, what's this?
Sorry, I don't know.
This family, they had another card that was in their language. They could read it, they could understand it, and yet they filled out the declaration in English. So it just doesn't add up. This tells me that you knew what that said.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
You can't just change your mind.
The source of the foul stench is yet to be identified, and officers have the unpleasant task of determining what the man is hiding and where. They start by taking a closer look at the items in his possession.
Oh, they stink! Quite a strong smell.
And the nasty situation becomes increasingly serious for the passenger, as mixed in with his chocolate box are a number of large yellow pellets. Experienced officers recognise these pellets as similar to those used by drug couriers to carry narcotics internally.
It looks like the pellets that people usually swallow. Even though they're relatively large, people have been known to swallow 90, up to 90 sometimes. So now that we know what's in this, we'll close this one up, put it aside, we'll get the other ones out one by one.
Further inspection reveals that all 4 of the chocolate tins contain the same yellow pellets. And it doesn't end there, as officers now open a package that the passenger claims is duty-free alcohol.
There is a box of Johnny Walker full of pellets. It's possible that he had them all inside of him solely because of the smell. So that's why we thought that he soiled himself. It was what was in the boxes that we were smelling.
Officers confront the man with the discovery.
The passenger still made no omissions as to what could be contained inside the pellet, and he's not offering us a lot of information at this stage.
With the passenger claiming to have no knowledge of the items found, officers will now carry out testing on the contents of the pallets. And if they find illicit substance, this man's life will take a serious turn for the worse.
And I want to know why, considering they had the card in their language, did they then give me the wrong answer in English?
Because she said the kids forgot to take out the peach.
A surprising backflip in their explanation, and the couple now blame their children for the hidden peaches.
All of a sudden it's, oh no, it was the kids. The kids didn't get rid of it for us. The kids are minors. Once they're over the age of 18, then they can be held responsible. Until then, it's the parents' responsibility.
Sorry, I don't know.
The couple refuse to take responsibility for the false declaration, but their passports reveal they've been to Australia many times before.
That just tells me you have no excuse. You should know better. I'm getting the feeling from them, they've been through here before, they're looking for a quick way through, and so they've simply ticked no to everything, and now that they've been caught out, now they're blaming it on the kids.
She said if it's okay to hurry up, because she's in a hurry to catch the flight.
Yeah, but it'll take time because I've got to print the document, we have to go make the payment. It doesn't happen instantly. Explain it to
The
her.
couple are now upset, but fail to realise that they've caused their own delay by failing to declare.
If they want to get through here quickly, they need to abide by the law.
And despite the kids being very young, the mother insists on blaming them.
So can I ask you, do you be looking at any jobs here in Australia?
No, because I know I can't with my tourist visa.
This is an emails that were found on your mobile phone. And the information on it clearly depicts that you may be here for other reasons other than tourism purposes.
Yeah.
Have you made contact with anybody about intended activities whilst you're in Australia?
Yeah, maybe doing some woofing.
The unusual term woofing refers to willing workers on organic farms, which is a specific type of volunteer work that is allowed on a tourist visa.
So who is this person that you've been emailing?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth?
To be a valid woofer, travellers must agree to do 4 to 6 hours of gardening or farming work in exchange for a day's food and accommodation.
What's your understanding of woofing?
To spend time with family and get free accommodation and free food, but for that you need to work for them.
Okay, and what type of work would you be doing for them?
Maybe take care of kids.
Mm-hmm. Okay, because what my concern is that the activities that are listed on these emails are not necessarily activities which would constitute woofing in Australia. Go bike riding, walk the dog, or walk on beach, skateboarding, play games. These types of activities are indicative of what someone who is doing nanny or au pair work would be doing.
Yeah.
Are you aware of that?
Au pair, yeah, it's like an au pair, yeah.
So will you receive accommodation in return?
Accommodation, yeah.
Are you also...
And food.
And food.
Like you.
Okay, I'm just going to step out and have a chat to my colleagues and I'll be back with you.
It is possible that this French nanny has misunderstood the rules regarding work while travelling on a tourist visa.
I think Celine may have the wrong interpretation of what woofing is. A lot of people think woofing is just working for free, but they don't understand that it needs to be on a particular farm that meets the requirements of woofing. Our fear is she is intending to come out to Australia not to be a woofer, learning the operations of an organic farm, but to work, which is in breach of her visa condition.
Celine is now given the opportunity to plead her case and convince officers that she should be allowed to enter the country.
Is there anything you'd like to say, anything you'd like to provide, any reasons? Yeah?
If you still trust in me, I will be ready to forget this plan to doing au pair and just staying in woofing place. Like it's the main thing for me to speak English very well when I live. That's why I was planned to doing that. So, voilà. I understood that au pair, it's not, it didn't work with my visa.
It's obvious that Celine hasn't done her homework before visiting Australia, and she's not here to woof. So Officer Phil must now decide if she can cross the border as a genuine tourist.
Okay, after weighing up all the information available to me and in consideration with your response, I was satisfied that there are grounds for cancelling your visa. That means that your visa has been cancelled today. As your visa has been cancelled, okay, you have been refused immigration clearance into Australia.
Okay.
Okay. Now, this also means that you may be detained and removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen under Section 189 of the Migration Act, 1958.
I have to leave.
Yeah, okay, which means that we will need to make the arrangements for you to travel to a destination where you will be permitted entry. It was quite clear she had an intention to arrive in Australia to conduct au pair, or also known as nanny work. And it takes away potential employment opportunities to those who are actually entitled to it.
The final colour will be pink and blue if it's cocaine.
Both of the technologies that we've used so far have come up positive for cocaine.
Officers know that this type of pellet is usually carried internally by drug smugglers, which may explain the vile smell coming from the chocolate boxes.
He's possibly gotten them out of his body sooner than he was intending to. They've definitely been inside of somebody. From the smell, we can tell that.
And officers now want to know whether all the pellets are accounted for.
We've got some concerns that he still may have some inside his body. So what we're going to do today, we're going to take him for a non-medical internal body scan.
He's not in a good place. He knows that he's in a lot of trouble, and now he's just going to have to find out exactly how much trouble he is in.
The test will not only determine if he is hiding more pellets, but could also save his life.
If one of those pellets were to burst, it could possibly kill him from a drug overdose.
That's her responsibility.
She just wanted to be quickly done.
It would have been a lot quicker for her to simply say she had fruit. She'd have been out the door, we wouldn't be having this conversation, it would have been destroyed. I wouldn't have to go and write up a document.
Yeah, I know, I'm trying to explain it
I
to
know.
her.
Explain it to her.
The peaches are now confiscated and will be destroyed. The couple receive a $360 fine for failing to declare.
Okay, we have to go down to make the payment.
And once the fine is paid, they can continue on with their travel.
We've sent the gentleman in for a non-medical body scan, which looks for anything that may be inside of his body.
It basically takes a photograph of inside or an X-ray of inside a person's abdomen.
We've received the results back and we had a negative result.
While clear of having any more pellets inside of him, The man is now handed over to the Australian Federal Police for further investigation into the large quantity of drugs he has brought into the country.
Today was a very successful day for Australian Border Force. We've impeded the importation of approximately 4.8 kilos of cocaine into Sydney Airport.
Become very nervous, he's sweating, he's unable to construct sentences, he's unable to give us answers to the questions. He appears very, very nervous.
Would you like some more water? Yeah? His story is that he went to visit his father and his mother passed away back in October, but other than that, he has no story about what he did over in Thailand.
And for a traveller returning from such a short trip, his cases are extremely heavy.
About 800 Australian dollars, yeah, in excess baggage.
So officers begin a full baggage search to see if they can determine the reason for his anxiety. And of immediate concern to Officer Alicia is the fact that his luggage seems to contain no personal effects, but does contain a very unusual supply of pharmaceuticals, including a large quantity of Botox.
So, who are they for?
For the doctor.
Who? So, doctor?
Da.
And he's asked you to get them for him?
Yeah.
How many did he ask you to bring?
25.
Okay, so Dr. Da asked you to go to Thailand and get 25 boxes of these to bring to him to stock his shelf.
Usually he ordered the stuff at the store, but it's run down, you know. So he told me if I'm going there, don't mind to go and pick it up for him anyway.
Passengers can only carry pharmaceuticals for personal use if they have a prescription. And Officer Alicia reminds the passenger that large commercial quantities are prohibited.
You already know that, don't you?
It's a prohibited.
Prohibited, yeah.
Yeah. So I can't take it anyway. I can't have it back anyway.
You know that.
Sorry?
You knew that anyway. You're just hoping you got through with it.
Officers are surprised by such a brazen attempt to smuggle the goods and need to know exactly what this man is up to.
To date, we've got pretty much a pharmacy in this gentleman's bags. You name it, this passenger's carrying it.
Today in Sydney, Biosecurity Officer Stephanie has some concerns over what might be inside the luggage belonging to this woman arriving from Vietnam.
Definitely worth having a look in two of her bags. Just see the grainy material here. It just needs a closer look. Did you read the questions on this card? Yes. Did you understand the questions? Yeah. All right, we'll have a quick look. So we have pepper. So just pepper? Yep. So you have white pepper.
White pepper, black pepper.
While pepper is allowed, certain food items must be declared, so any potential risks can be assessed by biosecurity officers.
Okay, the dates, they still have the seed inside, so these ones are not permitted.
Many types of foreign seeds can be devastating to Australia's agricultural industry and require a permit or cannot be brought into the country.
So that's fruit, all right?
But I think it's dry one, not
But that doesn't ask if it's dry, okay?
Yep.
So this one's not allowed.
Yep.
While some of the undeclared items can be brought in,
Tea?
what's found next could pose a massive threat to Australia's biosecurity.
I'm going to interrupt you for a moment. Can you have a look in here?
Border Force is interviewing this Brazilian woman who has been studying in Australia on a student visa and recently left the country for a 1-month holiday.
And so you've just returned from Thailand today?
Yes.
Okay. So you were supposed to go back to school last week?
Yeah.
So when were you planning on attending school?
Just next Friday.
Okay.
Officers are concerned that she may have breached the conditions of her student visa whilst studying patisserie at a culinary school.
How many days a week do you
2
attend
days.
school? 2 days a week. And so what actual classes are you taking at the moment? Do you know the names of them?
I'm not sure because every week new students arrive, so they change. It's a bit different way to teach.
It's odd that she doesn't know which subject she's doing. So Border Force have now contacted the school to shed some light on her academic record.
The school actually reported that you had unsatisfactory course progress. Have you been going to all the classes or have you been missing any?
Well, I'm not the best student, but like, yeah, I've been going almost every week, so.
Okay, so you can't understand why they would say there's unsatisfactory course progress?
No, it doesn't make sense.
You haven't failed any subjects?
Well, they don't have really subjects. They are assessments, but they don't have dates for the assessment. So if I don't do it, I don't have my certificate.
Okay.
Unsatisfactory course progress is considered a breach of the conditions of a student visa. So officers have searched the woman's phone for other incriminating evidence.
Okay. Hi, so you went through the phone. Did you find any message that suggested that she was going to school? Like, I can't talk now, I've got to go to school. Oh, okay. Do you know who she sent those messages to by any chance?
If information is found to show that she's not attending, it could lead to the cancellation of her visa.
My colleagues told me there's some messages in sent mail saying I don't have to go to school anymore, saying I spoke to my teacher at school today and I can cancel my course whenever I want. So then it would be up to you if you want me to work in full-time straight away or in the future. She's supposed to be here to be studying. That's the actual purpose of the visa. That doesn't look good for her if she's saying that she can cancel her course at any time when, as a student, you always have to hold enrollment.
A lot of money? And these were, how much are you selling them to the doctor?
150.
Just $150 a box.
How much did you pay for that?
The same price anyway.
You're not making any money?
No.
You're a very generous person.
It's generous?
Yeah, because she's my friend, you know, sometimes I go to the
So Dr. Day is your friend?
Yeah.
As well as the Botox, Border Force have now unearthed a treasured trove of other prohibited pharmaceuticals, including Viagra and estrogen.
For the gym, and the estrogen?
The team?
The gym.
The gym? Oh, sorry. Sell them for?
$100.
He admits to selling the pharmaceuticals, but Officer Alicia suspects he's not entirely truthful about their uses.
Did you tell me they were for?
Oh, it's just a fat burner.
Fat burner?
Yeah.
Steroid? AKA steroid?
No, it's not steroid.
Not steroid?
It
Make you
just
look
help.
bigger?
No, it's just helpful. I just anyway, I just lose some fat anyway.
So how much do you sell them for?
$100.
$100
A bottle.
a bottle. Are you sure? Everything seems to be $100 or $150. That's a lot of trouble.
But the thing is
For
like...
$100 and $150.
Yeah, but you assume me to sell just like per tablet, but I don't sell per tablets anyway.
While the huge haul of prohibited pharmacy drugs already has this man in trouble, it's what officers find next that could be of far greater concern.
You bring 40-odd litres of liquid.
That's for the cleaning company anyway.
His bizarre claim that he's carrying an unusually large number of mouthwash bottles for a cleaning company leaves officers with some serious questions that need to be answered.
The passenger stated that he's mixed cleaning solution with the Listerine, which is very strange to us.
There's a bit of confusion as to how often she's been attending school, any assessments that she might have been doing. She can't really tell me the subjects. So I guess that's what we're really looking at today. Has she actually been attending school? And if she hasn't been, what has she been doing?
A message found on her phone indicates she's planning to quit school. So Officer Belinda must now clear up the confusion.
I'm going to have to call the school and see if what you're telling me is the same as what they're saying. Because they only put this on here on the 24th, so only 3 days ago, saying it's unsatisfactory course progress. Okay, so interview is suspended at 11:11 a.m.
If the school confirms that she's failing to complete her studies, she will no longer hold enrollment and her visa may be cancelled.
I actually just have some questions about one of your students. You reported this person, Patricia, for unsatisfactory course progress. She's disputing that, stating that she's actually been going to school. Okay.
The young Brazilian might think she can just turn up to class to keep her student visa, but in order to comply, she must complete the coursework.
Okay, well, you've been more than helpful. Thank you very much. Okay, thanks, bye. So they're saying that she has been attending, but she hasn't been doing any of the assessments. So that's why they've reported her for unsatisfactory course progress. It's not looking good for her right now. You can't just keep going to school without actually doing any of the assignments.
Can you have a look in here?
Lotus?
No. Okay, stop. No, don't squash them. They're animals in your bag. Live animal.
Oh, no.
Okay? It's a real concern. We don't know what the insect is. It could pose a huge biosecurity risk to Australia. So I take a sample of the insect and send that off for testing. All right, so your bag I'm going to seal until we get word from entomology for that. Normally if a bag has an infestation of animals or insects, the bag's quarantined, it needs to be treated and then released back to the passenger.
With the infested bag safely quarantined, there is still an outstanding issue.
As for the food that wasn't declared...
You can throw it away.
No, it's not about throwing it away. It's about whether you get a warning, you get a fine.
You bring 40-odd litres of liquid.
That's for the cleaning company anyway.
The passenger has a lot of Listerine bottles that have been opened and resealed. They're different shades, different colours. She's stated that he's mixed some cleaning solution with the Listerine, which is very strange to us.
How much is that worth to you?
I just give it to, just like a friend, that's all, and then he just pay me,
How much money?
It's like $50, just like per bottle, that's all anyway.
He says he's carrying the mouthwash bottles, which are mixed with cleaning fluid, as a favour for a friend. But nothing the man says is adding up.
I know I wouldn't pay $800 in excess baggage.
Yeah, but it's like...
if I've got nothing in return.
Yeah, but it's like my friend, he covered for me. I don't have to pay anything anyway.
Your friend covered for you. Which friend?
The guy who actually asked me to buy the man. Yeah.
Who's that?
Zach.
What's his name?
Huh?
What's his name?
Zach.
Does Zach have a last name?
No, I don't know his last name.
What's he in your phone under?
Under Zach.
Under Zach? You can show me, but you can't. What's the name under? In your messages?
I have to go to the phone.
Okay. You just can't hold it because you might delete things, that's fine. So...
There is no contact named Zach listed in the phone, and it's a dead giveaway that he hasn't got his story straight.
Okay, now I know you're lying because you're really, really not good at it.
Officers will now have to run a drug swab over the suspect bottles, and if it's positive, officers might have intercepted a record seizure.
I can fine the passenger for the non-declared food items that she presented today. I can also take the option of giving her a written warning. This is the only one that's not permitted. So today I'm going to give you a warning for not declaring. So we're just going to hold your bag until we find out what we're dealing with. But if that is biosecurity concern, then your bag will need treatment. It will cost you $100. Otherwise, it'll be about a week, and then you can come back and pick up your luggage. Okay, so that's yours. You're right to go and ready to exit. This is a great result. We may have just stopped a huge pest coming into Australia.
So I spoke to the school and they stated that although you have been attending your practical sometimes, you haven't done any assessments except for one at the very beginning of the course.
I did more. I did like 4 or 5.
While she continues to disagree with the school's report, some new information has now come to light, and it could change her outcome.
You have a boyfriend here in Australia?
Yes.
And what's his name?
Damien.
Okay, and how long have you been together?
10 months, 11.
Do you live together?
Yes.
Does he support you?
Yeah, like he pay his own house.
Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll go out and call your boyfriend and let him know you're here, and I'll come back in here.
Okay.
Okay?
Significant relationships are one of the factors that Border Force must consider when contemplating the cancellation of a visa.
Hi, is this Damien? Hi, my name's Belinda. I'm calling from immigration here at Melbourne Airport. How are you going? Are you waiting for somebody today? Okay, and what's your relationship with Patricia?
The gravity of the situation has just hit Patricia, and she's now worried about what the visa cancellation would mean for her relationship.
I'm nervous that maybe they cancel and then I can't see him anymore. We met in October last year, and then we lived together since we met. So it was love at first sight, like he means a lot to me. But I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Her partner Damien, he's an Australian citizen, and I spoke to him and confirmed that and checked on our records. And so we will take that into consideration and any disadvantages that might arise if we cancel her visa today.
We have a life together, we have plans together, and if I have to leave now, we probably won't be together anymore.
The boyfriend, yeah, we can take that into account in the decision, but I don't think that's going to be enough to sway the decision in her favour.
After considering all of the circumstances, a decision has now been made.
After weighing up all of the information available to me, I was satisfied that the grounds for cancelling your visa outweighed the reasons for not cancelling, and your visa has been cancelled. As your visa has been cancelled, you're being refused immigration clearance. I'm detaining you under Section 189 of the Migration Act 1958, and you'll be removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen.
Can I see my boyfriend?
He can visit you at the detention centre, yes. Are you able to sign this to say that I've provided you with this information? Okay, so you understand what's happened?
Well, I understand.
Okay. Did you want to call your boyfriend? Okay, and...
Officers sometimes encounter difficult emotional circumstances, but ultimately the decisions that they make must be guided by Australian immigration law.
When you look at legislation, it states that you must hold enrolment. She doesn't hold enrolment, really, the bottom line. So we really had no choice but to go ahead and cancel the visa.
I can't believe they're doing this to me. I can't believe it. It's just like, no.
I can see why she's upset. She thought she'd just be walking out the door and see her boyfriend outside, and he just thought she was running late. So, yeah, it is hard.
The next test we'll do is first offender test, which is a much more accurate test for the substance.
Officers submit a sample of the liquid for secondary testing. The testing confirms that the bottles contain the deadly narcotic GBL, which is also used as a date rape drug.
The passenger's admitted to having GBL and 62 litres of it, which is quite an amount. The GBL has been concealed in bottles of Listerine and chemical bottles at the moment. He states it's a cleaning product, which from my limited understanding of GBL, can be used as a cleaning product. However, it's also used in more sinister ways.
Whilst GBL can be used as a cleaning product, it has a much darker side. Known as coma in a bottle, it is easier to overdose on than heroin and can cause psychosis, memory loss and death.
So from here, we'll hand this to the Australian Federal Police to complete the inquiries and finalise the matter.
We've got 4 young passengers coming in today. 3 of them Canadian passports, and 1 of them has a Dutch passport, all travelling from Canada.
I need you girls to come around this way and your bags.
They have come to the officer's attention due to a few very unusual details that were noticed when they passed through the primary line to get their visas and passports checked.
One of the first things I noticed, they're here for 10 days, but each passenger has got 2 huge suitcases. That straight away is a little bit unusual. They're only 10 days, why do you need that much luggage?
The 4 young travellers are now being questioned at separate benches, so officers can cross-check their stories.
Okay, just need to ask you a quick couple of questions in regards to your card and your baggage.
The passengers are telling us that they're friends, but when you really get down to questioning them, they don't really know each other that well. There's some sort of links. They know of someone, they met someone 3 months ago. So that sounds a little bit unusual.
So you're saying that you met at 6 months, you planned this 6 months ago? Well, we had talked about it 6 months ago. And you just met your friend 6 months ago? Yeah, because Tyrell asked her to go.
Normally people get a little bit nervous, and she's quite talkative, telling us how much she loves Australia, why she wants to come out here, but can't give us too much detail about what she's going to do here.
And your parents, how do they feel about you coming out? They didn't want me missing school, but I'm only taking 2 classes, so it's not like really that big of a deal. But they were excited for me because this is like a trip of a lifetime. And you're planning on doing some homework here? Oh, yeah.
A swab is now taken to test for traces of any illicit substances.
Have you been in contact with anything recently? No. Do you use any recreational drugs? No. You don't?
The test is negative, but a shocking development has occurred when a bag belonging to one of the male travellers is x-rayed and indicates that there could be a massive concealment. This family, returning from Vietnam, claim their boxes are filled with baby clothes. But an X-ray image of the contents has biosecurity officers concerned over what's actually inside.
We've got a lot of boxes, and so far 3 of the boxes have come through full of material that we really need to have a better look at. I don't know what's in them. Very dense around here. It could be anything, so I just want to take a closer look. Okay, yes. Hi. Just want to check.
Yes.
Did you read the questions on this card?
Yes. Yes. Because it's not in Vietnamese language. Yes.
Because it's in Vietnamese.
The passengers confirm that they have read the cards and that they have nothing to declare. So officers will now further examine luggage.
We'll have a look. Okay, what's this one?
Shrimp.
Shrimp?
Shrimp.
Shrimp?
Shrimp.
I asked you before what was in your bags, and you told me clothes for your new baby.
Shrimp or prawn can contain bacteria like deadly salmonella and E. coli, which pose a threat to human health, and importation is strictly controlled.
Okay, this not dry. This not dry shrimp. Is it cooked?
It's cooked already.
Cooked, but not dry. This one not permitted. Shrimp need to be dry. If they're cooked, we need to have a manufacturer's declaration stating, you know, how long they've been cooked, make sure there's no meat, or the meat's coagulated and there's no risk to Australia.
And the soggy shrimp is not the only undeclared item that could contain dangerous pests and diseases.
This one too fresh. If it was discarded in any of our rural areas, it could pose a big risk to farming industry. Yeah, that's just definitely fresh.
And it doesn't end there. Officers now find one of the biggest threats to our biosecurity hidden amongst the baby clothing.
Oh!
This Filipino man has just arrived in Adelaide and says his trip is for tourism, but officers suspect otherwise.
Can you tell me what your plans are for your travel to Australia?
Just come for my holiday, visiting friends.
He claims that one of those friends is waiting for him in the arrivals hall, but he's having trouble remembering some very basic details.
What's your friend's name that's picking you up?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo?
Ronaldo something.
Australian Border Force officers have established that on a previous trip to Australia, the man extended his holiday to a period of 12 months.
So in 12 months, last time, you spent a week in Cairns, 2 weeks in Adelaide. What else did you do in 12 months?
Just relax with my friends.
Okay. Did you do any work in Australia?
Oh, no.
Working whilst on a tourist visa is a breach of conditions, and despite claiming that he didn't work, officers have now found paperwork in his bag that suggests he did.
It says, this is to certify that Alex is an employee and presently holding regular appointment since October of...
Work certificate is dated from his last trip and has been signed by the same friend that is waiting for him today. Using an interpreter, Officer Amanda now asks the passenger to explain.
Ginawa lang ito.
He just made me that certificate, but I did not work.
Yes.
So why would his friend do a certificate of employment if he didn't work there?
Why I should work?
That's what I'm trying to work out.
Okay, so you're here for a week and then you're going to Sydney?
Yeah.
How are you getting to Sydney?
We're flying.
So whereabouts did you guys stay in Thailand?
We stayed at the Majestic Grand Hotel.
Do you know anyone in Thailand? Did you meet up with anyone?
No.
It's hard to tell if the story is legitimate, but an X-ray of one of the men's bags may give the answer officers are looking for.
So we just ran Dave's passenger's bag through the X-ray. It looks like we might have something here because all the orange sort of matter here. Orange means organic material. It's a bit unusual that all this organic material is in the bottom of this suitcase.
A quick inspection under the lining is another strong indication of a concealment.
You can see just with the bag, this has kind of been put in and just like the manufactured tape over the top of it just to hold it together.
Because the indicators are so strong that there is a concealment in the bag, Officer Craig has another concern.
All 4 passengers are presented with similar shaped large suitcases. They've come on the same ticketing. I'm concerned that they're all carrying narcotics today, so I want the guys to go and issue them a caution and make sure all the passengers understand their rights.
You may communicate with or attempt to communicate with a legal practitioner. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you wish to do so?
No.
The bag is taken to the tool room and the base will now be drilled. What's discovered may be just the beginning of this major investigation.
There's pay slips and a letter. So I don't understand why he would issue you this if you didn't work there.
Pinakita niya lang sa akin ng documents.
He just showed me what the payslip is like and what the certificate of employment is like, but I did not work with him.
Yes.
The documents are signed by the man's friend, who is currently outside waiting for him. So Officer Amanda now checks with him directly.
He said that you worked for him last time you were here in Australia, in this massage parlour. And you're telling me you didn't work. So I need you to explain that.
Just for the experience only, I go to his clinic and doing just for fun, massage, like that.
But there's pay slips and a letter. This is yours. I found it in your folder.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I don't understand.
Concerned that the man is lying about his work, Officer Amanda now checks if he will tell the truth about how he knows his Australian contact.
I saw this man in the mosque.
So this person here you met at the mosque. Okay. There's a little bit of difference again because he tells me he's your cousin.
Yes.
Before you sounded like you didn't know him. You said you met him at the mosque.
It's difficult to put the facts together as the man keeps changing his story, but it's becoming clear that he's lying and his waiting friend is actually his employer.
I'm very confused about your friendship or your relationship with this person.
This one is not permitted. No, I've got bird's nest.
Bird's nest is a rare Asian delicacy which sells for thousands of dollars per kilo, but also presents a high risk of carrying disease such as avian influenza.
Bird's nest is a restricted item. They cannot have it. It's regurgitated from a bird. It's, you don't know what the risk is in there.
And what is even more concerning to officers is the method of concealment.
The bird's nest has been repackaged in a packet that shows that it's rice inside. Makes me think they were trying to hide this item. Definitely not allowed, very high risk item.
The family is not happy about losing their delicacies.
I wouldn't be arguing. First of all, you didn't declare it on the card, okay?
But their failure to declare the prawns and bird's nest means they may now be facing a substantial fine.
You may communicate with or attempt to communicate with a legal practitioner. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you wish to do so?
No.
Has come up positive for heroin, LSD, and opium.
Between the group, they have 8 bags, but this could be just a ploy to hide one loaded bag amongst them all, as it seems far too brazen for anyone to bring in so many large suitcases with concealments. But the bags will all be checked to make sure.
Yeah.
And the X-ray shows up virtually a mirror image to the previous bag, which has returned a positive result for heroin.
It's just very similar to the other. This is a really straight square. It looks pretty positive.
Now, with yet another bag showing the same image, it means that so far, 3 of the 4 people look to have attempted to smuggle something across the border. But with another 5 bags between the whole group still to be checked, Officer Craig has a very bad feeling.
It's possible now we're looking at multiple concealments here.
Hey, Elena, I wouldn't be arguing. First of all, you didn't declare it on the card, okay? That's what I'm telling you. So today here, you'll be paying $360. You see here? You had 3 chances. 1, 2, 3. Yes. At least one card should have had a yes on it for food. If you are not sure, you say yes. So today, $360 fine.
They've now been given a fine, but the woman still wants to keep her raw prawns.
Can you just leave the products there? Okay, so we go to the desk there to pay the money.
It's an expensive lesson, as the family must now pay the fine and the high-risk goods will be destroyed.
How much money do you have available while you're in Australia?
Mayroon akong $300.
I have $300.
Yes.
Okay. But $300 doesn't appear to be sufficient money to support yourself for 3 months. Who will you be staying with?
With the friend who invited me here.
Okay. What was your friend's name?
Donald.
Donald? Can you explain your friendship with Donald? What?
He promised to me he is the one responsible for everything.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Sometimes I get daily expenses from him. Yeah.
Why does Donald give you daily money?
No, for my expenses, for my... Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Officers will now phone Donald to check if he's prepared to offer financial support. And if he isn't, this passenger might be returning home sooner than he planned.
They've all got 2 each, and everyone looks the same like this. It's like a normal base of a suitcase, but it's thick. And if you look closer, it's like they put a mould down and then put a felt lining around the outside to make it look normal. But the bags are heavy and these are thick. It's going to be a big concealment.
A bag from each person is drilled, and the white powder which is extracted is examined using a narcotic test kit.
And it's gone from a green to a dark blue, which would indicate that presumptively the substance in the suitcase would appear to be heroin.
Despite the large concealments found in their baggage, all of the young passengers are managing to remain very calm given the circumstances.
She's pretending like she doesn't know what's going on. It appears that she's trying to be, I don't know what's happened, I don't know why we're here, I don't know what's going on.
While the bags continue to be inspected, an eagle-eyed officer has noticed a small clue.
See the number?
Oh, okay.
It's probably like a 2. Yep. We've discovered that bags appear to be numbered. It may indicate that there may be a series or a number of bags associated with this possible importation.
And it leads to the sudden realisation that there could be a major problem.
If all these bags are from the one syndicate, have we got them all? If I got number 10 and I've only got 8 bags here, am I missing a couple of bags somewhere?
He said he will support you for 1 month, but you have a ticket for 3 months. How will you support yourself on $300?
Having worked unlawfully in Australia previously and with no means to support himself this time, it's highly likely that he'll once again breach his visa conditions. Officer Amanda now has all the evidence she needs.
So I have decided to cancel your visa today, okay? As your visa has been cancelled, you will be refused immigration clearance and you will be detained and removed from Australia as an unlawful non-citizen under Section 189 of the Migration Act 1958.
Because if we're missing numbers, we could be missing bags.
Yeah, all right, cool.
And they need to make sure that there are no other people involved in this massive attempt to smuggle heroin across the border.
Do you take this as a 7?
Yeah, 7. Say 7.
Should be 8, yeah? 2 each pack, 4 packs.
There is also the enormous task to drill and test every bag, plus meticulously document all the details of this huge crime. This will help with the pending criminal prosecution and also assist any further investigation into who the ringleader is and possibly link the group to a bigger international crime syndicate.
I think all 4 passengers have got 2 bags each, and all appears to have, we're thinking, similar concealment, so it's going to be a large amount.
It is now confirmed that the bag numbers are all sequential from 1 to 8, and they have all been drilled and tested.
All the presumptive tests have indicated that there is heroin concealed within the base of all the suitcases.
The Australian Federal Police are called, and the passengers are escorted to interview rooms where statements will be made.
Just follow this officer, please.
Every bag is confirmed to contain heroin. So the AFP now takes all 4 into custody for further questioning and to finalise the matter. It's 4:30 a.m. and an Australian Border Force compliance team is on their way to execute a search warrant on a property located on a citrus tree outside the town of Leeton.
Because of the variety of citrus fruits that are grown in this particular region, the work is available all year round, and that is a big attraction for illegal workers.
Intel suggests that 7 unlawful non-citizens may be residing on the farm, and the early morning operation has been planned to catch the unaware occupants.
Bravo, lights are on. Everyone get out, please.
Quickly get out, Everyone in position, please.
Bravo, is everyone in position?
Copy.
Officers need to act swiftly in order to prevent anyone from escaping.
Immigration search warrant. Immigration, open the door, please.
Entry needs to be gained as soon as possible so that any persons of interest can be detained as a shadowy figure hovers behind the front door.
Immigration search warrant, open the door.
In Brisbane, a detector dog is being run across the luggage of a flight from Singapore. Officer Suzanne will recognise any change in her dog's behaviour as an indication that he's picked up a suspicious scent.
Good boy. Good boy.
The owners of the bag of interest are taken aside, and an X-ray is showing that it contains a large inconsistency.
Interesting to see what it turns out to be.
Do either of you speak English? No English at all. No deal. All right. Okay.
With the help of a translation booklet, it is confirmed that the couple are not declaring anything.
No. The passengers have acknowledged that it's their luggage. They packed the bags and everything inside the bags is theirs.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Yes? Yeah? This one.
But first, Officer Kerry is interested in the contents of an unusually shaped package.
What is this? What's this in here? Sword. Yep, I understand that. I think she means a sword. Did that look all right in the X-ray? Normal?
Officers are satisfied that it is a ceremonial sword and it's given the all clear.
I'm happy with that.
But when attention is turned to the couple's suitcase of concern,
This one. Yours?
what is discovered is no laughing matter.
Holy moly. What is all this?
Today in Sydney, Officer Denise has taken aside a family arriving from Samoa.
What do you have? What are you declaring today?
They are carrying a large cooler box full of food, but are only declaring 2 items.
Taro and coconut cream. Taro and coconut cream, yeah. And that's it? Yeah, definitely. Lovely, all right.
But officers become suspicious when an X-ray of the box suggests there may be many more foodstuffs that they have failed to mention.
Right, so we're going to need to... Okay.
Once opened, the first package contains cooked taro, a food staple in the Pacific Islands. But Officer Denise is unable to identify what she discovers next, and she immediately calls her supervisor.
Not familiar with that one. What's this?
Oh, I think that's eel.
You think it's what?
Eel.
Eel?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. It's a big,
It is.
it's a big
an
eel.
It's an
a
eel
great
wrapped
big
up.
eel.
Yeah, that's now. Just have to be careful with the teeth there. They look very sharp.
And that's another one. Is that a baby eel?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think so.
As officers continue their search, they discover even more undeclared food.
Oh, that's octopus.
Octopus has got suckers, eh?
But just when they thought they'd seen the worst of it, yet another potentially high-risk item is unwrapped.
What have we got in the bottles? Can you tell me what that is, please?
Hi, how are you? Just one sec, excuse me. Let's get you to sit down, please. Anthony Giselle, start searching, please.
Caesar, I'm from the Department of Immigration. We have a search warrant for this property.
Hello.
5 men are located throughout the house and escorted to the lounge room.
I'm detaining you all under Section 189 of the Migration Act, as I have reasonable suspicion that you are an unlawful non-citizen.
But officers now have concerns that 2 other men are unaccounted for.
2 people, 2 people. Where are the other people?
Here, last room.
The man indicates that there may be more people residing in a granny flat at the rear of the premises.
Immigration search warrant, please open the door.
Movement within the granny flat confirms that there is someone inside.
Guys, I'll just get everyone to knock on the doors and windows for now.
Immigration, open the door.
Immigration, open the door.
Open the door, immigration.
It's probably their hope that we will simply give up and go away, but that is not going to happen.
Immigration search warrant.
But the occupants are refusing to open the door, so a lock expert is brought in.
Door's open.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, Dave, the door is open. Immigration search warrant. Immigration search warrant. Immigration search warrant. We're inside the premises.
Immigration search warrant.
Okay, look for manholes.
Yep. Immigration search warrant.
Hello, sir. Where is he? Immigration. We found him just here. What's he doing? He's just sitting in the toilet. Hello, sir. You need to get up. Immigration. Him and you. Let's check this one. This way. This way. Up, please. Okay. Ask him if he speaks any English. Can someone get an interpreter, please?
Yep.
Interpreter on the phone. We'll bring him out here and you guys continue searching.
Yep, sure.
For the others.
Okay, this way, please, sir. This way. Sir, this way, this way. Okay,
While he is detained, there is still no sign of the other missing man. So the search is intensified while the rest of the group is identified and questioned about their immigration status.
All right, can you tell me if you have a visa? Do you have a visa?
No.
Okay, all right.
Suddenly, outside, someone makes a run for it.
Stop, stop.
Runner.
There he is. Stop, we got the police here, stop.
Not sure. I didn't pack it.
The man says one of his travelling companions packed the box, and she is called over to explain.
Could you please tell me what this is?
Power in the skin and like a power.
Pauoa is the traditional name given to edible sea snails. But for biosecurity officers, it's not the snails that may pose a risk.
What's it in? What's the liquid?
Oh, it's just the seawater.
Seawater? Okay. The meat in the bottles was seashell meat or clam meat, which in itself is not a risk, but unfortunately it's preserved in seawater, and seawater requires an import permit because seawater often contains the larvae of other creatures which can grow up and become pests.
OK, we do have a little bit of a problem. Your eel is OK. What you can't bring in, you can't bring this in like this. Yeah, because it's seawater, it's not the shellfish, it's the seawater. Yeah, that's the problem.
Both items will be seized and destroyed.
Thank you very much. We can tell them what they can and can't bring in, so next time they won't bring them in.
They're all saying that there's some sort of dietary supplements.
A swab test of the tablets indicates that they do not contain illicit substances.
Nothing. We got like calcium, fish oil. I have no idea what this one is.
But the passengers aren't off the hook, as this amount of product needs to be declared.
Is this for you? You take?
Oh, yeah.
You take?
Oh, we have got that.
Yeah. For you too?
Yeah.
Wow, this is a lot. Just to make you live longer, look better? No. Oh my gosh. It's a never-ending pack of things.
The bag contains nothing else but health supplements, and due to the overwhelming amount, officers are beginning to suspect that it may be for resale, and that the couple deliberately didn't declare it to avoid paying any possible duty.
They're saying it's for personal use, but this much is a lot for personal use, and you can only bring in 3 months' supply of personal use stuff.
And a clue has been discovered at the bottom of the bag, which could lead to finding out exactly what is going on.
We found a business card in their luggage. The passengers have indicated that this person's outside, so we're going to go outside and have a chat to this person to try and establish what their association is with the people and what the association is with the tablets.
Attempts will be made to locate the mystery man outside in the arrivals terminal. While in Melbourne, officers have just begun to search the bags of this man, and they have some major concerns.
So I've got a New Zealand gentleman who's just arrived from the Philippines from a short trip. So we've had a quick look through his bags. I've done an X-ray, and from the X-ray it looks like there might be something concealed in the bags. We don't know what it is yet.
The man's reason for travel also seems a little unusual.
He lives here, he lives in Perth. He went to the Philippines for a business trip. He's planning on building a hotel in Perth and possibly Adelaide as well.
Officers suspect he may be up to something illegal, and this only increases when he changes his story.
So far, the passenger has said that he went to the Philippines to look at the buildings there, but he's changed his story and said he's more after the service in the Philippines, in the hotels there.
Officer Jared continues to scrutinise the X-ray image, and he now has little doubt that a large amount of organic material is concealed in the bag's lining.
Yeah, so from the different angle you can definitely see something there. So we'll go in and test it now and try and find out what the substance is.
Stop! Stop!
Runner.
There he is. Stop! We got a police here. Stop!
No chasing.
Oh, he fell.
Oh, it's failed. Fallen.
David, I think we've got one abscond.
Yeah, copy that. I don't think he's okay. He's hurt himself.
We don't chase people who are absconding from premises. As you can see, it's very, very dark out here, so there are a lot of dangers.
While the local police take up the search,
where did he abscond from?
Extensive interviews have been completed determining the immigration status of the other 6 farm workers.
No talking. No talk.
Right now, we have confirmed that all 6 of the people are unlawful non-citizens and they don't hold visas.
The men will now be transported to immigration detention facilities, where they will be processed for immediate removal from Australia. In Brisbane, Australian Border Force officers have just located this man outside in the arrivals area. They believe he is somehow connected to a Chinese couple who have been stopped with a suitcase full of undeclared tablets.
Yeah, our theory is that it's for him to sell here. Is that your business card? Do you work for this company?
No, we're not working.
You don't work for it?
The man reveals that he is the couple's son, and he backs up his parents' claims that their enormous pile of health supplements is definitely not for resale.
So all the personal use, you know, even you...
Doesn't matter. If it's personal use, you have a $900 limit. So something will have to be paid on that.
But we are the frustrating.
No, you didn't travel with them. So at this stage, if there's no duty, GST on it is just $257. Would you pay the $257?
Okay.
If there's duty on that, it may push it up higher.
Yeah,
So you're willing to pay that?
Yeah, because my parents needed stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
No worries.
The man pays the tax on behalf of his parents, and the family is now free to leave.
It felt rather heavy, so Jared x-rayed the bag and it looked like there was a concealment in the lining of the bag.
Yeah, so from the different angle you can definitely see something there. So we'll go in and test it now and try and find out what the substance is.
And English is your first language?
Yes.
Because officers believe there is something illegal inside the bag, the man is read his rights and will be taken to a private room.
Would you like a legal practitioner present?
Yes, so might as well.
Yep, it's up to you. You don't have to. It's totally up to you.
Yeah, might as well, if that's my legal right.
Okay, no worries. So we'll arrange for that. All right. So did you understand the rights provided to you?
To a certain degree, yes.
Okay, what didn't you understand?
I mean, you haven't said anything.
Okay, yep, I'll explain that to you. So the issue we have is this bag over here, and possibly the laptop bag there appear to have something concealed inside them. It's consistent with a possible narcotic concealment or illegal drug concealment. What we're going to do is we're going to repack all this, search it again under tape, then we'll conduct some testing, test it to see if it is a border-controlled drug or an illegal narcotic, and then we'll go from there.
The man has remained incredibly calm through the whole process. He's even told officers that he's worried about missing his next flight. Once in the room, he's given an opportunity to contact a lawyer, and then officers can begin testing the bag to see if there are any traces of narcotics. But the first test of the bag's lining gives a negative result.
Doesn't mean there's nothing in there, but yeah, nothing at the moment.
So at this stage, we don't know what's inside it. We just think it's a border-controlled drug. So what we'll do is we'll get into it, cut it open, drill it, and then conduct some further testing to find out what the actual substance is.
The first swab test was negative, but after removing the lining of the bag, a section is located wrapped in carbon paper and layers of plastic. A swab is taken, and this test result is what the officers expected.
This is the end result of the NIC test. We've put a small sample of the substance in the bottom of this, and as you can see by the colour, green means heroin, which is what's here, and that's as green as you're going to get. That was instantly went green, so it's definitely a good sample of heroin.
Further deconstruction of the bag reveals this is a large haul.
The large grey bag we removed the whole side of it, and there's 1.8 kilos, so there's 2 of those in the bag. So we're looking at least 3.6 kilos in that bag.
And it's not the only bag that has a narcotic concealment.
Plus we've got the laptop bag, which I suspect has maybe at least another ½ kilo in it. We're not going to do anything with that. We're going to let the federal police use that as they want. If they want us to test it, we will. And we're still just going through the third bag, and we don't know if there's any concealment in that.
The whole time, the New Zealand man has remained incredibly calm.
Yeah, he's cool. Like, he's just sitting back, just taking notes, you know. He's been informed of his rights, and yeah, even when it come up positive for what we got, it's, yeah, he's just sitting back like it's a normal day at the office.
The Australian Federal Police arrive and arrest the man on the belief of importing a border-controlled drug. And, if found guilty, he will spend considerable time in jail. For Australian Border Force officers, it's been a very satisfying day.
So yeah, very, very good haul.
Passenger is on a working holiday visa. Because she's been in and out multiple times in the last 6 months, it's just a bit of an odd travel movement for us.
They will conduct a full baggage examination. And immediately there are concerns about a laptop found in the woman's suitcase.
Is this your laptop?
It's me.
It's yours, yeah? Did you buy this one or someone give to you?
My sister go to buy.
Your sister buy this, okay. For you or for someone else?
For me.
For you, okay. I just want to check if there's anything inside this one, okay? Okay. So you...
Smugglers have been known to conceal illicit goods inside electronics, so Officer Jenna decides to check using the X-ray.
When I zoom into it, if it is, I don't know, part of the hardware, I'd expect it to be really straight, but it's sort of a little curved. I don't know exactly what it is just yet.
Next, a swab is taken from the laptop to check for narcotics. This computer gets the all clear, but it's not the only one in her possession.
You have 2 laptops.
This is my friend.
This is for your friend?
Yes.
Who is your friend? Your friend is here?
Yes. Melbourne.
In Melbourne?
Yes.
What is your friend's name?
Patrick.
What's your friend's name?
Bet.
Bet.
Yes.
Is from Hong Kong?
Yes.
Your friend's from Hong Kong. Let's try this laptop.
And the second laptop is scanned, they get a very different result.
Wow. It's huge.
This non-English speaking woman arriving from China has completed a passenger card in English, immediately raising the concern of biosecurity officers.
Who filled it in for her? Who did this?
The passenger explains how a fellow traveller completed the legal document for her. While the card does include a declaration, the bag search soon reveals some high-risk items which appear to be purposefully concealed.
Can you please tell her she has the seeds in her shoe? She shouldn't do that. Still get in trouble.
Officer Andrea now needs a clear answer on what the woman is declaring before searching the rest of her luggage.
Can you ask her one more thing? Does she have any more seeds for the garden? Okay, if I find any, I will find her. Just explain that to her. Okay, thank you.
A translator confirms that the woman says she is not carrying any more seeds.
It's a very full bag. Just making sure you got no more seeds. No good, this one, cordyceps.
Cordyceps are primarily used in herbal medicine as an aphrodisiac. The parasitic fungus is an environmental risk, but that's just the beginning. Officer Andrea now finds another serious threat to Australia's biosecurity.
What is this? What is that?
Today, the Australian Border Force compliance team has travelled to the Whitsundays town of Bowen. They are preparing to execute a search warrant on a nearby farmhouse after receiving intelligence suggesting there may be illegal workers residing there.
The information suggests there could be up to 15 people or more. Okay, so we need everybody on their game. Don't forget your roles. So when we go in quick, smooth, make sure you're paying attention to what's going on. Get that perimeter set. Just keep aware of each other. Remember that if you're in trouble, help, help, help. If it's all becoming a bit of an issue, out, out, out.
The town of Bowen is also known as the Fruit Bowl of the North. So, with lots of harvesting work available, it attracts many travellers, some without working visas. On arrival, officers park away from the house so as not to alert anyone inside to their presence. They need to be careful as they are unsure how many people are there. They approach cautiously and surround the perimeter in case anyone inside attempts to flee.
Australian Border Force, I have a warrant, I'm entering the building.
The warrant is quickly executed and the search for occupants begins. It's a tense time for officers as initially the rooms appear empty.
Hello? Hello?
A number of females are located in one bedroom and some males in another.
Have a seat, thank you.
They are ushered into a central room so officers can keep a close watch while they determine if any of them are living here and working illegally.
Passport or... yeah? Is it this way?
Everyone's documents are checked.
Thank you.
Officers confirm that most of the occupants hold bona fide passports and valid working visas. However, a South Korean man is pulled aside as it appears he may be living here on an expired tourist visa.
I reasonably suspect that you're an unlawful non-citizen, that is someone who does not hold a visa to remain in Australia.
The man, Mr. Lee, will be kept under close watch as he is questioned with the help of a Korean interpreter.
How long have you lived here for?
Nearly 1 month.
Where did you live before you lived here?
In Shepparton.
In Shepparton.
Shepparton is a Victorian town also well known for its harvest industry, and Officer Aaron suspects the man has been working illegally since he arrived in the country over 6 months ago.
Mr. Lee, are you working? Have you been working?
3주 전에 한 며칠 했는데요.
3 weeks ago, I worked for a couple of days. At the moment, I'm not working.
Mr. Lee, I find that a bit hard to believe. It's in your best interest to be honest with us, okay? So, are you working?
네.
Yes.
Okay. And what sort of work are you doing?
Picking.
Picking? Yeah, vegetables and that. Yeah, okay. How are you paid for this work? Is it cash in hand?
With this admission, Mr. Lee will be detained, while everyone else is given the all clear.
We are going to continue your interview at another location here in Bowen.
He is given time to pack some of his belongings before being taken for further questioning. Mr. Lee will need to provide officers with a compelling reason as to why he should be allowed to remain in Australia.
What is that? I asked you, you will be fined today for giving me a misleading question and answer. Yes.
Fresh sprouting garlic cannot be brought into the country because of the high risk that it could carry pests and diseases dangerous to Australian agriculture.
Any more seeds? You said mayo. What's this?
After officers found seeds, the woman claimed there were no more in her bags. But it has now become clear that she was lying, as Officer Andrea continues to find them, concealed in baby clothes.
I asked you. The lady asked you. You said no more.
One after the other, the risk items continue to be found in the woman's luggage, including this fresh plant material and an unknown raw meat product into a vitamin bottle.
This is clearly marked the fish oil capsules, but when we've opened it up inside today, it's not a capsule. It's some sort of an offal of some animal. We could be risking foot-and-mouth disease. We're going to be seizing that today.
It is clear that the woman will be fined for failing to declare restricted items. But the problem now is getting her to pay attention and face the music.
You're going to be fined $360. Here, read this.
What do you do this?
No, read this. You read that. You read that. You read that. No. Read this. You read that.
So a fellow Chinese-speaking passenger helps with translation.
Because she said he doesn't got enough money.
Well, then she'll have to go back to immigration.
Now claiming to have zero funds to pay the fine, the woman may put her entire visit to Australia in jeopardy.
So it's cocaine and ketamine, high readings, very, very high. So we'll have a closer look at the laptop now.
There are now increasing concerns about the woman's behaviour.
She's like really fidgety.
Look at her face.
She's quite nervous, very twitchy, just a bit on edge.
Officer Jenner questions the passenger directly.
Do you use drugs?
What?
Drugs. Have you used any drugs? Narcotics?
Unable to get a clear answer, officers must now take a closer look at the suspect computer.
I'm just not happy with that laptop. So we're going to check inside this one, okay?
And a thorough examination shows no indication of concealed drugs. However, things take a dramatic turn when photos appearing to contain something highly illegal are now found on the woman's phone.
That one. There's one thing you might want to bring up, pictures of some pills. They don't look like normal pills.
These look like party pills.
He has been taken to a conference centre in town. But before Border Force officers decide his fate, they have a few questions about how he came to be working here.
Did the person who arranged your work in Victoria also arrange your work in Queensland?
No, different person. Yeah.
Different person.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know how they arranged the work? Did they use Facebook or call anyone?
You just
Emails?
call. Yeah.
Okay.
Officers use the opportunity to gather as much intelligence as possible about how illegal work in this industry is organised.
The main purpose of today's operation is to disrupt the illegal work that's happening in the harvest trail industry. We're not just focusing on the workers, but also their employers.
Did the amount you were paid match up with how much you should have gotten?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's good.
It matched?
Yeah, it matched.
Okay.
People working without visas or working illegally on their visas, it can lead to poor pay practices and dangerous practices. And so as part of that, we try and disrupt those industries where they're using illegal workers and not really checking visas properly.
While he has been cooperative during the interview, a call must be made on his future in Australia.
He said his clear intention was to stay here and work as long as he could. His intention was to live here as long as he could.
Border Force officers will now inform him of their decision.
You're going to go into ongoing immigration detention. So what that means is you will be coming with us. Do you understand that? So what will happen is we'll finish up here, okay? And then you'll be transported to an immigration detention centre. From there, your options will be discussed.
Mr. Lee did arrive in Australia on a visa that did not allow work, with the intention to work at the beginning, which of course is not what that visa's for. And so this has sort of led to where he is at today.
My major concern is she's carrying narcotics in her bags or on her person.
And now, officers will conduct another test with a swab from her luggage.
GHB.
GHB now.
It's another positive result, this time for a different and deadly substance.
GHB is a dangerous drug, and it's what's known as a date rape drug.
Officers now step up the investigation, and the passenger is taken to a private interview room for further questioning.
We'll get the interpreter going so I can actually talk to her in there at the frisk.
All right.
And it doesn't take long for officers to find out what they are looking for, and it might land the woman in very serious trouble.
We located a picture on a phone with pills in it, and then we questioned her about it. She's pulled these out of her bag, so we're just going to test them now. They've got specks in them. They look like ecstasy. They really do.
Officer Jenna asks the passenger to clarify exactly what it is that she's carrying into the country.
What is in this pill I am pointing to? What is it?
Yeah, medication.
What is it? Tell me what the medication is.
Just be honest.
It was only prescribed to me just then, so I don't know.
The passenger will not identify the pills, so they must now undergo thorough investigation.
So we'll perform a test on them just to get an accurate reading.
But the highly accurate first offender test comes back negative.
Nothing.
No.
It's probably not coming up with anything because it's probably just herbs and stuff, like if it is Chinese medicine, because if it usually is something, it will come up straight away.
And a secondary NIC test confirms that the pills are not illicit drugs.
I am looking for any colour change because it can go 3 or 4 different colours and it hasn't changed at all.
Despite her belongings returning positive for traces of cocaine, ketamine and GHB, an exhaustive investigation has revealed that the woman is not attempting to bring any narcotics into the country today. So she is now free to cross the border.
As to the drug readings that we had, it is possible that her or her friends may use illicit drugs, but I'm confident nothing is coming through this airport today with this passenger.
These seeds in the baby clothes. Obviously, she's bringing in baby clothes. So she had all these tucked in baby clothes, okay? And she also had that, okay?
I didn't know that, otherwise I told her many times, you know?
Yeah, well...
Not to bring anything into Australia. Australian customs is very strict.
Yes, that's right. And she also had plant material, fresh plant material. And these were in the shoe, in baby shoes. She failed to tell me. Okay, so that's... I
apologise for that.
Well, she's going to be fined $360 today. Okay?
I do apologise for that.
Okay.
Not going to happen again, okay?
Well, she won't happen again because we're going to put her on a report. So every time she travels through, we're going to be looking in her bags. Okay?
So after the high-risk items are confiscated and destroyed, one very forgiving son pays her fine.
This gentleman's paying for his mum.
She can now enter the country, having learned a valuable lesson at his expense. At Sydney International Airport, Australian Border Force officers have stopped a passenger arriving home in Vietnam with her 4 children. They have concerns after an initial swab test of some food she is carrying returned a positive result for the prohibited substance ephedrine.
So what we'll do, so we're going to have a look and make sure that everything is okay. Yeah. I also want to have a look inside the other bags too.
Ephedrine is a precursor used in the manufacture of drugs such as ice, and officers need to carry out a full baggage search to determine what may have caused the reading.
This one, your cosmetics. Body wash. Oh, yeah.
Officer Rhonda continues to search her belongings, while Supervising Officer Jeremy has a few questions for the passenger.
Right, we might have to open up some of these, okay? Because we've had those drug readings, we kind of need to go through some of your belongings to find out if that was a false reading or if you're actually carrying drugs with you today, okay? So we're gonna have a look in to make sure it is what it is. So this is coffee, Coffee?
They say tea.
Tea in this one?
Packaged food will be opened and inspected, and while an X-ray of her empty suitcase gets the all clear, officers are most concerned about 3 sealed bottles of hair products that the woman is carrying. She claims she is bringing them back into the country for a friend. Officers' suspicions are raised even further when an inconsistency is detected on the X-ray image.
Look at that one there. Look at that. It's gold.
It's not consistent with liquid.
Yeah.
Officer Jeremy immediately opens the bottle to check its contents.
If you can just have a look in there, there's a small plastic package, and my suspicion is that is drugs.
In Sydney, an American has been taken aside for a formal interview, as records indicate he overstayed his last trip by 2 years.
So you told me that you were here on holidays, is that correct?
Absolutely. To have a holiday and relax and get away from school and work. A holiday.
But officers are concerned about the man's ability to finance his short stay.
You don't carry any cash, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
He claims he'll be using credit to fund his trip.
So how much you have on your credit card?
I have about 1,000 on one, 1,000 on the other.
So that's 2,000.
2,000 altogether.
So now that you are coming back, where are you going to stay?
I'm going to be staying with Stephen in Surrey Hills.
How do you know Stephen?
I know Stephen from when I lived here before. He worked at a restaurant that I frequented.
His story will need to be verified, but he still needs to explain why he overstayed for 2 years on his last trip.
I met someone and I thought we were in love. So in wooing that person, I continued to stay here past my visa.
It's a serious breach of his previous visa conditions. And Officer Yor needs to consult with Supervising Officer Ross.
He is saying that he's a self-employed taxi driver. He said he earns about 800 to 900 per week.
In today's economic world, it's quite a substantial income.
Yeah.
When the baggage search was done, you did a money count?
Money? Yeah, I asked, he doesn't carry cash.
Yeah.
He said that he have 2 credit cards and he have $2,000 on the credit cards.
So he's got no cash at all?
No, I said, no, there's no cash.
What, none at all?
No cash yet.
Not even $1?
He said no cash.
I have concerns about this man's credibility. We may have a repeat of his previous immigration history because he is a former 2-year overstayer and he's claiming to you to earn $800 to $900 a week. But he's arrived with no money.
Yeah, that's what he said.
That's odd. He doesn't have a ZAC on him. Nothing.
Importing prohibited goods into the country is a serious offence, and officers step up the investigation.
I want you to listen to me very carefully now, okay? I'm going to caution you, okay? You do not have to say or do anything, but anything that you do say or do will be recorded and may be used as evidence. Basically, what's happened is I've x-rayed this item and there's a package inside there, okay? It's not shampoo. Okay, when I've squeezed this, it doesn't feel like shampoo, and when I've x-rayed it, there's a big package there. Do you know what that is?
No, I don't know.
You don't know what it is? Okay, we're gonna move into a room now, okay? So we'll pack all your gear up.
Organise that, okay?
It appears this woman may be attempting to carry narcotics into the country, and her situation is about to take a dramatic turn for worse.
We got a label here that says, "Hey mate, I got some poo for you."
Something brown in there, and yep, definitely looks like feces. We've got to get rid of it.
Some people go to great lengths to hide prohibited items,
Bit lumpy for a book.
using clever concealments to avoid it.
Well, what is that? Got some seeds. Quite an interesting name for a book to be used for smuggling of seeds.
And the contents of some packages are highly restricted.
Nice bit of ham.
A bit of ham, complete with hoof. You don't see that every day, David? No.
To help identify possible biosecurity risks, officers rely on detector dogs.
Good girl. Good job.
And today in Sydney, detector dog Zandy has reacted to this parcel sent from Ghana in Africa. So the box is taken for further inspection.
Something. Medicine. That could be anything, couldn't it? All right, we'll have a look.
As the first bag is opened, officers are immediately concerned about the contents.
A lot of plant material. Oh, God. Bark. Here it's all soiled. Pretty mouldy, isn't it? It hasn't been dried properly.
Bark is a prohibited import into Australia as it can carry foreign pests and contaminants that could pose a major threat to our environment and agriculture.
I don't know why they would be sending this, but because it's still wet, there could be moulds in it, mould spores, other plant diseases, insects, also viruses, all sorts of things.
The box also contains the empty shells of giant African snails, as well as cuttlefish. And Officer Phil believes he knows what the unusual collection is for.
Probably used in some sort of herbal medicine, or could actually be used in a religious ceremony.
As we've gone through her items and swabbed her items, we've had positive readings for drugs. And from that, we've just sort of narrowed down her luggage to these 2 bottles here. We're not completely satisfied that there may not be more, but we definitely know that these 2 bottles here have packages in them containing ephedrine or a narcotic.
The woman will be questioned further using an interpreter, while in the testing room, officers have found another concealment.
So inside, we've got a body wash, and looks like there's a dense item underneath it, possibly a plastic bag concealing some kind of other product. It's a little bit hard to tell, so we're going to have to try to get something out to test it.
And it doesn't end there.
With this bottle of what appears to be some sort of hair cream, when I use the rod, it only takes me down to that far. So I feel that there's a package underneath here of some kind, so I'm going to have to empty a little bit of this out. I think this cream looks like what it should be, but my concern is what's underneath here, so I'm going to have to empty it out.
As the container is emptied, it's immediately obvious that it's only half full of hair cream.
Okay, what appears that we've got here is there's some sort of substance down here, and it's been placed in this container and it's been wrapped in a plastic bag. I think what the person or the people have hoped to achieve is remove the contents of the bottle, jar, put the substance that's in this plastic bag, put the cream on top of it, hoping that maybe if customers were to look at it, we just open it up, have a look to make sure the consistency is the same and release it.
The plastic is opened and reveals an off-white powder which Officer Kathy strongly suspects is more illegal drugs.
See that? It seems to be like a creamy coloured. So what I have to do now is try to extract an amount from this substance to test in our technology.
First Defender laser technology will identify exactly what the powder is, while in the interview room, the passenger still insists she had no idea it was in her luggage.
So what can you show to us that you're going back within the 3 weeks?
First of all, I have a very good job at this time. I also am still a registered student. So without a doubt, I'm leaving here.
You mentioned it to me that you are so steady. So what are you doing?
Computer information system specialist, basically software.
And how long have you been steady for?
I would say about 3 years now.
If this claim is true, it would indicate that the man has commitments back home to return to.
We need for him to demonstrate that he is in fact a genuine student.
You have a student ID card.
Yeah.
And in terms of
Can I have a look at that ID card? Does this have an expiry date?
And there's an expiry date there. And
yeah,
I
so
said
that's
that one
expired. So how's he identifying himself as a legitimate student with a card that is, in fact, 2 years out of date? I'm not satisfied that he is, in fact, a student.
Concerned that he's not telling the whole truth, Officer Yaw confronts the passenger with his findings.
I don't know what it is you have against me that you think I'm lying to you. I don't have a reason to lie to you. No. I'm here for a vacation. I'm here for 3 weeks. You don't want me here. You've gone through all my business. You know more than me than a lot of people know about me, and that is none of their business.
What we're doing here is assessing whether he will in fact demonstrate that he will abide by the conditions that are applied to his visa. And given his past history, and certainly some of the information given today, I've got my doubts. I've done what I can do for you, so put me back on a plane, let me go home, because I'm about my vacation is turning out to be a headache and not fun.
Cotton and a feather of some sort? Yeah, there was a bit of animal hair there. Yeah.
Officers suspect the contents are intended for use in traditional medicine or some sort of ritual.
All right, that has a little piece of bone in it. Could be used to grind up to make medicine, or could be used in a ceremony.
And then they make a particularly gruesome discovery.
Oh, it smells. What is this? Look at that, that's a chameleon. A whole chameleon, dried chameleon. Got snakes?
There are several species of dried reptiles, but that's not all.
Look at this. Oh, a bird head? A bird head? There's the beak. Yeah, it's like an eagle or something like that.
Officers are immediately concerned about the condition of the bird's head.
Yeah, head of a raptor. There will be flesh inside the neck. Neck bone, there'll be skin under the feathers because the feathers are all attached. So it could bring bird diseases. It could have insect infestations, diseases. So it's definitely out. It needs to be destroyed.
None of the high-risk animal or plant material in the box can be allowed to enter the country, so all the items are seized and will be destroyed.
I'm coming to visit a friend. That's it. Nothing else. I'm not staying. I have obligations at home.
So what do you do in the US?
I'm an independent contractor. I drive for Yellow Cab taxi cab company.
And while driving the car, how much do you earn?
While driving the cab, how much do I earn? I would say anywhere from 800 to 900 a week.
So how many days do you work per week?
3 to 4 days. I work from 6 in the evening till 6 in the morning.
So you work in the night, so you do a night shift.
So I can go to school during the day. That's the way it works.
But officers still have doubts about his story, as his student ID expired 2 years ago.
Stickers that you go and you get put on there, and you have to go back every year to get a new one. I stopped going back to get it, but I am registered and I am still in school. I can prove that it's valid by going to online.
And it's possible to show that you are still enrolled into the school?
Yeah.
Officer Yaw escorts him to a computer to check his enrollment online. But what the passenger is unaware of is that Supervisor Ross is already calling the man's employer in the US.
When we get concealments like this, we're really interested in how they get the product in there. And because this is so compact, and we couldn't see any evidence of tampering in the top, we just paid a little bit closer attention to the bottom. And it looks like they've actually cut the bottom out and put a false bottom in. So the bottom there's all soft, where they've heated it up and remoulded it. The same thing happened with the body gel. You can see where they've split the bottom open, resealed it up. This is definitely isn't a backyard job. This isn't someone done at home. This is like a factory style concealment. So they're probably doing multiple jobs like this.
Using first defender laser technology, Officer Kathy has identified the substance.
I've come back with what appears to be a presumptive positive for pseudoephedrine.
Ephedrine is an illegal import into Australia as it's used to manufacture narcotics such as ice. Officer Kathy carries out a secondary test. If the liquid turns purple, it's a positive result.
I pretty much say that everything in the shampoo bottles would be pseudoephedrine or ephedrine.
Are you able to give me confirmation of whether this guy actually works for you or not?
Officer Yor is confirming his current enrolment as a student.
You can see that I was enrolled in class and still am enrolled in class. These are my grades.
This semester?
This semester. I'm pretty good, huh?
You're very good.
Thank you.
His story checks out, and so do his finances, which are adequate for his short stay.
This one and this one combined is about 2,000.
Okay.
Officer Ross also gets positive confirmation about the man's ongoing employment.
You've satisfied my inquiry, Christine. I have had a conversation with your employer, and they are expecting you back to go to work.
I hope so. I still have a job, I hope, when I get back.
In essence, what we have done today for you is a happy outcome, and we welcome you to our wonderful city, and I hope you enjoy it once again.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm satisfied that he's a genuine visitor for tourism and to meet his friend on shore.